Hi, it's Richard McKinney with Remax Gold, and today we're going to talk about the top 3 things to look for when purchasing that waterfront property here on the Treasure Coast. Stay tuned. This is a question from the mailbag, and it goes something like this. Richard, what do I need to be looking for when I'm purchasing a waterfront property on the Treasure Coast? And so I've narrowed it down to 3 very important things that you need to look for that are specific to waterfront property in our local area. And the first thing, and the most important thing in my opinion, is the water depth at low tide behind the property. So the water depth is important because that allows you to have the water depth you need to get your boat in at low tide. And most boats can get in at about 2 feet, but ideally you want a 3 to 3.5 or even a 4 foot differential at low tide, water depth at low tide, so that you can accommodate a good sized vessel. All right, number 2, and this is also very close to being number 1, but number 2 is the amount of time to the ocean. So how long is it going to take you to get from your dock to the ocean, to where all the fish are, right? Or to the cove or the sandbar to go, party with the family and friends. Location. You've heard that terms in real estate. Well, it's the same on waterfront. The closer you are to the inlet, the closer you are to all these amenities, the more expensive it's going to be. So you need to, number 1, like I said, look for that water depth at low tide. Number 2, the distance to the inlet and to all the recreation areas that you want to be near. Okay, and number 3 is going to be your dock and your seawall and your lift if you have a boat lift. You really want to have that checked out, right? If you have a 40-foot vessel, you want to make sure that dock and that seawall will accommodate that safely, okay? You want to make sure that lift, if it has a boat lift, to lift it out of the water, you want to make sure that lift is in good shape. You want to make sure that the pilings under the dock aren't rotted. We see that a lot down here. You want to make sure the seawall has proper drainage and there's not erosion that's going to erode your property off the back. You want to make sure that water flows evenly away from the property and into the canal or the river, wherever the case may be. So those are your top 3 things to look for when you're purchasing a waterfront property here on the Treasure Coast. If I can help you in any way, we know the water like the back of our hand. You call me, Richard McKinney, 772-370-8631. And as always, make it a great day.